Hello guys, so I'm just gonna show you today uh, some build order for Loki. So just gonna check that right now. So pretty much I will show you three build order. Okay, so it's gonna be two on land and one on water. Standard one, not the one I used to do on some maps. So yeah, you go first on 4 on the food, then some 2v with ox guard on gold. Then you have two choice here. You do one villager and the ox guard on wood, and right after you can make the dwarf or a second villager on wood. It's up to you. It won't change that much, except that you might gather wood a bit fast, I mean a bit more. So you might get sometimes things earlier. That's kind of stuff I tend to do lately. But if you wanna stick to standard stuff, it's just gonna be the dwarf right now, like I do in this record. So yeah, then it's guy dwarf on the gold, then you put the second guy on the wood. So it's not that big difference because it's just a few seconds after. Then you put the dwarf on the gold, then you switch to food and gold all the time, because at this point once you get 70 gold you just make your dwarf till you get 3 of them, and when you get 3 of them you just make your temple, and then when you get your temple you just keep producing villager on food. And here we go. So basically here I got 6, I'm gonna add 7th one here, I'm gonna add the dwarf here, and actually since I built my temple a little bit late, I'm kinda forced to add either a dwarf or a villager. But anyway, lately in my build order I just go usually on 8 on food. I feel like it's better because you can stack a bit more food for your temple and barrack for your heirs here. And also if you're still hunting, it might let you able to get a really better transition on villager when you make them on pigs, because after your classical you're just gonna make 8 dwarf pretty much, and then you have to switch to vills and put them on pigs with husbandry if you want really neat macro, that's what you want. But you can also do the old school stuff with full of dwarf build. It might bring you heroic way earlier, but sometimes it's just gonna bring you some gold star, because if you don't get heroic in time or can't secure your gold mine with heroic, with all the gold you spent on the dwarf, on the food, you won't be able to secure your gold mine. So it's pretty much conflict to go full dwarf economy here. But in the same times you get heroic earlier, but might be risky. So yeah, pretty much you send heirs here, you just watch them, try to not let them die. You put your healing spring as soon as possible, so you won't have to bother to place it after, and then you get all of tains as soon as you get 300 wood and 10 favor, and it's all good. you do the standard stuff that Loki does. So now I'm gonna switch to the second build order. So the second build order is pretty much for having early pickaxe, which can be really good. And actually, I think with early pickaxe you can. I think it's I have to test, but I think you can just stop your dwarf to 6 or 7 dwarf only. But then of course you have to probably make more dwarf before going heroic, because otherwise your military barrack and actually yeah, I play fast for nothing, and your temple won't be able to produce all the time. So pretty much on this build order you go 5 on wood straight, and you go 3 on wood with ox guard. And at this point you make also 3 guys, 3 villager on gold with ox guard. And usually if your wood line is a bit closer, and if you have if your villager don't do some shit stuff, when the ox guard is reaching the gold mine, you can pretty much click on the pickaxe, and that's pretty much when you're gonna make the pickaxe, as soon as you get 120 wood. So let's go. I'm a bit late, but yeah, pretty much just when you do pickaxe. So then when you get your 3 villager here, you add 1 dwarf on the gold, and then you're gonna add 3 villager on food, which is gonna make 8 villager on food. And at this point you make your temple as soon as you get the resource for it. So here we go. I don't know why I add a house here, but won't change much because I got enough wood. And then once you get your 8 villager on hunt, you just add more dwarf. So sometimes you can just, you see, if I didn't lose sometimes building the house, I would have my temple a bit earlier. And if the map would have started with 3 giraffe, I would have get my my 400 food right in time, so I would not have to add more dwarf, 1 more dwarf. So yeah, basically could have up 15 seconds earlier, but doesn't matter that much. And yeah, I just add 1 more guy on the wood here to get better macro here, because since you get 2 villager and 3 dwarf, it's quite a lot for the dwarf, for the gold income. So what you wanna do here at this point is just to make dwarf and to switch, to do some transition with the 2 villager on the wood or on the food. But what you want is often, as soon as possible, as always, get husbandry and just get the pigs. So yeah, pretty much that's what build order is. Don't forget the pickaxe as soon as you get the resource, making a villager on gold, and that's pretty much it for this build order. And I'm gonna just end with water build order. So I took Medit here. It's actually the only map I do this build order pretty much, because on Anatolia and Midgar I just do double dock spam, so double dock and fishing ship spam. So actually on Medit you can pretty much do the kind of build order you want. just have to know that you need max 4 villager on wood to produce a decent amount of fishing ship, but here I'm just gonna go with the two villager on the starting 2 villager on the wood, and then 2 more on the pigs. Then I'm gonna add 1 more on wood, and then I'm gonna make my 2 dwarf. And I'm gonna stick to 3 villager on wood, which is, I think, enough for this map, because I'm gonna go just for 6 fishing ship up for classical. So yeah, I went on only 3 on wood for that, since once you get the dock finished, it's good to get some more pigs. Sometimes if the hunt is close enough, you can just lure the hunt in a range of the TC and maybe hunt it here, which will be kinda bit more worse, because the villager will gather faster, but it's not that much a big deal. It's good because if you scoot side where you have no pigs, or if you are unlucky and you just find no pigs, you might be forced to make a Oscar to hunt, or just take the chicken, and it won't be that worse. Having a scout for the hunt is just worse to get to split your wood, but usually you just want to split your wood when you're against Odin and Thor for forest fire. So yeah. So after 2 dwarf, I just add 2 more guys. One is already here, second one is here, and then I'm just adding 1 more dwarf. Yeah, as you can see, I'm just producing fishing ship as soon as I can. Just don't get housed, and it's gonna be alright. Just add 1 more dwarf, and then I go back to food. And at this point, I'm just gonna make my temple, because I'm waiting just on 3 dwarfs. Sometimes it's kinda risky, but because you will see, I'm just gonna have some soft delay on the classical age. So yeah, then I'll just add the villager. Once I get the gold, I just add 1 more dwarf. And as you can see, with the food I'm alright to up here, but it's just gonna be short. I did add to drop my dwarf, but I need, I think, 5 dwarf, 5 dwarf, and like 10 on the wood is just really good proportion for classic fight on water. So yeah, pretty much you see almost 330 for the class for the up. I just do my dock right now, and then once you make your dock, you can just spam like 3 hours then, and you're safe for some time for the house. And yep, that's pretty much all for this build order and actually the video. So if you got any question or any request you wanna see, don't hesitate to ask in comments. So